God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Oh man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. So I'm going mainstream. That the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Oh man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call.
Hello everyone and welcome back once again towards another day of the Global Girls Championship. This is your caster Torix, and today we have finally moved over towards the semi-final group, whereas today is going to be the Group A and the first day of the semi-final group as well. there's going to be a lot of different teams that are going to be facing off against each other from the like the qualifiers we saw from A, B, C, and D. These teams are going to be meshed up. Those who have moved forward towards the semi-finals, they're finally going to be meshed up, randomized against each other in this regard. And finally, today are those teams that are going to fight against each other. But before we go any further, let's go and see about the team list, how the teams are actually playing tonight and how the teams are actually going to go for the fight as well. From the Egypt, we have All That Candies, Doll of Insanity. We have from Europe, in fact, from Georgia, we have TMANBU. There's Black Heart Ladies from Thailand, Malaysia. We have Four Roses, Philippines. We have GLIMPS X4 Strangers, V Gaming Girls from Vietnam, Myanmar. We have REBORN for My VIP, SURREAL Esports from Turkey, NEXUS Girls from Pakistan, Iran. We have Good One Blaze, RRQ Glory. We have from Indonesia, Bangladesh. We have MARTYRS 4 Aces from Brunei. We have Stranger Ladies, Zest Queens from India, Nepal. We have STALWART Divas, Born Viviant from Russia, and last but not least, it's going to be from Mongolia, ASTRA Girl. So as we're talking about all these teams that are going to fight off against each other in today's matches, in 4 matches of today, we shall go towards them and see how well are they actually going to do, because the first match, which is going to be a wrangle, has actually started and moving to the plane line. We can see the plane line moving from nearby the Novo areas towards the Severny region. So somewhere in that area, kind of like an eastern region, has been perplexed for the teams. It has been given out a slight favor for the teams, but at that same time, how the teams are actually going to go for their drop locations and where they are going to head out, it's going to be a major question in this regard. But there we go. The circle has also taken out a shift towards the Milta Power, in which case, now that the Milta Power is inside of that region, it's kind of like a hard shift towards the eastern side. Whereas we can see like 50% maybe, if we are judging from all the region from Novo's Bridge towards the end of that Lipovka side, we can say almost like 50% of the circle is in the water. The rest 50, that is on the land. There's going to be only and only 2 to 3 teams that are going to be inside of that circle region. But today, the total number of teams that have joined out into the match is going to be 16 as well, with 61 players that are going to be fighting off against each other in hopes to get a good position for themselves, because a singular match is really important for these teams. And for now, if you're judging from their locations, we cannot see an early fight. There's like not really much chances of the early fight scenarios, but at that same time, into the Rozhok region, there can be some fights in towards that regard. So moving on towards the Rozhok area, towards the Rozhok region, into the water city, we can see the G1 Ananas being here in the booth. Alongside of her is going to be G1 Invisible, Chiro, and Kimi. These 4 girls in total are going to be 1 player, Chiro, from a bike that is rotating from a bike, and aside from that, the rest of the 3 players, Kimi, Invisible, and Ananas, these 3 girls are going to be using a boat rotation in towards this lake, in towards this region of the place to go towards the Jojo pool side. But into the kill feed, we can see the 4 SE. Those players are actually going to be engaging with one another in hopes to fight and get more kills for themselves, in which case Style GL is that person that got not 1, not 2, but at the very least, I think 2 players. Yes, 2 players down in the very regard. Sticks, GL, she got the early eliminations on towards the player. But even after that, just look at that. After these 2 kills, there's going to be another one, which is going to be AIM Tote. Tote also has been knocked out. That means that Team AIM is right now down to their not just the last player, but at that same time, that was a 1v3 completed from the 4 SE Sticks GL at that point. So 3 kills whatsoever right at the very start of the game toward this girl is gonna put our team to a huge sum of the points into the very early stages, because not only now you have your confidence boosted up at that point, but at that same time now, if you get into a fight against the team, it's actually going to be a 1 versus 1, not a team elimination, not a team a fight at that time, but just the 1v1 that you might need to win out in towards this fight. And even if you lose that out, there's still a chance. There's still more 2 players from your team that can actually make a difference, that can once again put themselves forward and not only get the revenge for you, but at that same time get more kills in towards that regard. Whereas if we're talking about the team aim, Alex is going to be the last standing hope whatsoever for the whole team. As soon as she's gonna get eliminated, it's gonna be all over for the team, and the teams are gonna be no longer into the game. And as we're talking about Alex, talking about her gun, his gun are going to be M4 and AKM in this regard. AKM and M4 in one hand and the other one, which means that somewhere in this area, not only she got like a great amount of guns, but she's ready for the fight as well. If she gets into a close range 1v1 fight, that means that yes, somewhere in this area, she actually have a better chance of eliminating the other player, because if we actually remember, from the team of 4SE Sticks GL, she only has had a VSS at that time, and after the VSS, maybe she had like more guns now or something like that in towards this region. But yes, the answer is going to be yes in towards this area, whereas she has a Scarlet and that PP Bison in her hand. Not only she found a SMG, but also an AR that she can actually use for herself, but no car whatsoever. Remember, they do not have a car. They do not have any sort of way to get out of this region without a car, in which case she might just be stranded at this point. But remember, she had a car before that. Maybe she needs some more of that fuel or something to get out of that position. She could be running out of fuel at that point, but no, she has the car, she has the fuel, everything is intact. She's gonna be getting inside of that car and the coup, and after that she's just gonna be moving out. But as we're talking about her moving out of this region, her moving inside of that circle, because the circle is gonna be a really important thing for the teams. The circle is also closing in. Just look at that, almost Jojo pool container side, and at that same time the northern side city kind of like has been covered up by the circle region. But now the blue zone is also shrinking down. The teams that were outside of the circle has to make a difference at this position, at this point, to get inside not only the circle, but at that same time a good position as well for themselves, because they know that if they are not able to get into a good position, it can be really dicey, can be really like bad for the teams at that position, at that point. So not only they have to be really careful in this regard, in this position, but also they have to be really safe and sound, because not only a single wrong move can put you up into a dismissal, like an elimination site. One wrong move can also mean that you might not get inside of that next circle. You might just lose your chance to get inside of that next circle. So team have to be really careful of that. But for now, none of the teams are actually going for the fights, aside from the very early stages fight that we saw. Aside from that, no one is actually going for a fight right now. Waifu, she's here. Martyrs waifu, she's going to be looting other place as well, in which case regard, now she has a UMP-45 in her hand, and on the other one, it's going to be a Scarlet as well. So somewhere a UMP, a SMG, and an AR combo is going to be completed by this girl as well. But at that same time, if we're talking about her like teammate, which is going to be Eloise, she is, I think, AFK, because she's not even moving. But there we go, finally she has moved. Eloise just showed her presence towards the players, towards the region, that yes, she is going to be here alive as well, inside of that shelter region, but yes, alive with all of her team's power. Team aim, they have moved inside of that circle as well. And as we're talking about the circle, the first circle is also taking its shift. Where it's gonna head out, it's going to be a major question for the teams, because not only it's gonna affect a lot of teams, it's going to affect almost like each and every single one of the team, whether it goes towards the northern region, whereas the Yasna region, Yasna place will be inside of that circle. Yasna place will be like in towards the favor of the team. That will put the teams in towards the northern region in a good regard. But no, it has gone towards the not just the southern region, which is the Novo Pinoy area, but at that same time a hard eastern side shift once again. So 50% of the circle still inside of that water, inside of that area, whereas now the teams have to be really careful on how they're gonna actually move, because not only in the northern region where there were like so many teams, they're actually stranded in that point, but they also needs to like fight to move on, to move out of that region, because if they do not fight, there's a chance that you can be backstabbed from the place. But Shazadi, once again, Team Nexus, these girls are going to be here right in front of the Team Cave as well, in which case scenario Logica has been taken down, and at the same time Amia was taken down as well, Sonia was taken down as well. Team Nexus just getting a 3 kills back to back, 1-1-1-1 kills on towards the player in that regard, leaving only I think one player from the Team Cave, which is going to be Loraichi. Loraichi is kind of like further away, not from her team, but at that same time she was kind of in the safe side as well. But Team Soli is going to be in towards that region, in which case scenario Sola, Elsa, Piano, there's going to be like a Mofa, and at the same time Main being here as well, fighting for the team, getting more kills for themselves as well, and finally having the first kill in towards their regard as well. A total of 15 teams are going to be surviving. Finally a complete team has been annihilated. Team like the team that was eliminated is going to be Cave. Sola actually got 1 kill. Team Nexus got the 3 kills from their side, and a total of 4 players was eliminated. Team AIM, they're still surviving. MV is also fighting against the team as well. R4 MV, if we're talking about these girls are going to be alive, and all 4 players standing in towards this region, in towards this regard. Team Nexus, G1, RRQ, Martyrs, Team Lucid, Team Zest, Team 2A, all of the players are going to be alive. But if we're talking about the MVX Supergirl, this was the girl that like kind of like got a knockout some times ago in towards the kill feed, but at that same time, as soon as we move over towards her side, R4 MV is also going to be taking a fight, is also going to be eliminating players and knocking them out. G1 Kimi in this regard has been taken down. Invisible, Chino, and Ananas are going to be the only 3 girls right now alive for the team, in which case scenario Invisible also has been spotted, in which case she got a lot of damage on her. She got into the cover, but after that, can she be in towards the safer side? Because can like she get into the safe side and just get the like cover from her own teammates, from her own teams in this regard. And Invisible finally getting on top of the bike, she finally got inside of that bike, and as soon as the Inanas is gonna use that bike to move out of that region, Chino is gonna follow up as well, as they all know that it's going to be outside of the circle region fight, and not staying inside that circle is going to be a really hectic situation for you. But my Super MV Super girl, this girl is going to be here in towards the team, like kind of like close by to them is going to be ETP, whereas Hira, she's here, and she's going to be super low in that regard. She was kind of like close by towards the players. C, Ni, me, and Hira. These 4 girls are going to be joined up by the team ETP. Super close by to them is going to be the 4SE Styx girl. Styx GL finally has been taken down, and as soon as she's going to be taken down, Team 4S is right now down towards the last 2 players. The rest 2 players are also going to be spotted. There goes the M416 spray, in which case scenario my got Manok GL down as well, leaving only the 1 and 4 more players alive for the whole team of the 4SE at this position. All of the team ETP is right now going for that aggression, going for that rush, in which case scenario as soon as the Pom girl is going to be spotted, it's going to be all over for the team. But there we go, the PP Bison spray, consistent fires on towards the team, trying to get the eliminations on towards themselves, but no, it's not going to be possible, as Hira from the back cover is going to be just shooting inside of that smoke, eliminating the player as well. But at that same time, Team ETP is going to be facing like some kind of casualties, because not only they were knocked out in towards this regard, 2 players C and Ni are going to be those girls that are knocked out. The player has to come and revive them up, in which case scenario I think Hira is that person. Hira is actually giving up the cover from the backside. Mai is that person that is giving up that rev towards the teammate, but they don't know that there's going to be not 1 but 2 teams right in front of them, right in close by towards their region. And in that case as an area, in that case region, it's going to be a really hectic situation for them. ETP, these girls kind of like in a pinch position, pinch spot for themselves as well. But there we go, the circle fight has actually started. The circle is also closing in, whereas all the 14 teams are going to be inside of not just the circle, but at that same time they're waiting out where the circle is going to take its shift. In the circle, it's going to take its shift towards the like a western side region. The Milta city is going to be where the circle is going to take a shift. Team 2A is also going to be fighting with the Goss as well, getting 3 kills so far whatsoever. 2A, these girls finally got another whole elimination on towards the team. And as we see, Ruje has 0 kill, Wisdom got 0 kill, Luka got 2, and Duka got 2. A total of 4 kills for the team. Team AIM is going to be taking out the fight as well, taking out the flight as well. In which case scenario, if we remember, Team AIM was that first team that lost 3 of their players, but now is that time for the Team AIM's Alex to actually shine, not just getting 1 but 2 kills right back to back. Team is kind of like in a pinch spot from the very start, from the very like early stages of the fight. But now as Alex is knocked down, as Alex is kind of like in a pinch position, a total of 13 players of 13 teams, in fact 41 players are actually going to be alive in towards this regard, trying to make their way inside of that circle. And as they're moving inside of that circle, it's going to be a really hard situation for them as well. It's going to be a really hectic situation for them, because not only Alex has a chance of getting the eliminations on towards her side, because she's going to be a solo. It's going to be a really hectic situation, because from each and every single one of the angle, if you're spotted, it's going to be all over. And one of the prime example is going to be Doi Reds, which is actually using an M416 spray to eliminate the cars of the remaining teams that are like moving out inside from outside towards the inside of that circle. And Reds doing her best job of what she can do best, eliminating out on the cars. Players are getting a lot of damage on towards the car as well. Their cars are getting a lot of damage, but they are the one team that is inside of that circle. They're trying their level best to like hold off that area, but no, it's not going to be like super longly possible, because after the circle shift, it's going to be another round, another rotation for these girls as well. But once again, team AIM Alex, she's going to be surviving a total of 2 kills so far whatsoever. She's trying her level best to make sure that she gets inside of that circle as well. 2 kills, that was done by her. She's looting out the players, she's looting out the crates, and after that she's going to be moving inside of that circle as well, because getting inside of the circle is going to be really important. If you're not able to get inside of that circle, the circle is actually going to do a huge ton of damage on you. It's going to be doing a huge chunk of damage on you, whereas your survival will be dependent upon your first aid kits, in which case Alex has so far 5 first aid kits. She can somewhat survive out inside of that area, inside of that circle, but after that, after the circle shift, where she's gonna head out, it's going to be a major question as well. And one of the fight is actually started as well alongside of Alex, in which case regard, Team Lucid was that team that was super close by to AIM Alex. Alex's cars at that position was super like damaged in towards this region. Not only it's a coupe, but at that same time, coupe has a tendency to like blow up super fast, super early inside of that game as well. Only one complete like a full spray can lead up to its demise as well, can lead up to its elimination, its explosion as well, in which case Alex finally is getting more shots on towards her side. She's trying her level best to get into the not only the safe side, but at that same time she needs to make sure that her car does not get any kind of damage on towards her anymore, because each and every single bullet is super like effective at this point. It's super important for the player to like utilize that bullet, because a single bullet can lead up to the car demise as well. But now it's time for Alex to throw out a grenade. The grenade is going to be thrown inside of that house, which is not going to do anything much, but as soon as she's gonna be cooking out another grenade, she does not see, this girl does not see the player, she does not see the region of the players right in front of her side, inside of that smoke, because when she actually took a look at the same position first, she could not see anything over there. She did not see anything, but there goes a molly. Alex is super low on that HP side. On top of that, she got the molly damage on towards her side as well. After using the first aid kit, she's gonna be back towards her 75% health. Her booster is kind of like almost full as well, but there we go, the M416 spray. The consistent fire from the M416 spray is going to make a difference, but there comes a grenade, eliminating Alex as well, and finally getting the number total towards 11 teams. Alex, as long as she was alive, she managed to at least get 1 position point for the team, but at that same time 2 kill point for the teams as well. But 2A, they're also fighting against the team as well, which is going to be Team Doi, which are also fighting with them, kind of like in a pin spot, because Doi Kiki is going to be right in the side of the house as well. Sophia is in the bottom of the ridge, is in the bottom of the place as well, in which case scenario it's going to be a 2 versus a maybe 3 scenario. Sophia kind of like super low on that HP. She has to get into the cover side. Not only just that, but she also has to heal herself from the backside. There's going to be another team that can actually take a look at them, which is going to be Zest. Zest can also like utilize their position, utilize their scopes and sprays towards the enemy side as well, eliminating them in towards that region as well. But there we go. Finally, Toki, after giving up that heal, she also tried a level best to fight with the team as well, in which case scenario Reds finally was not revived up at that time. But Reds side now is going to be the final hope of the team, final player alive for the team. Sophia was knocked out, finished up at that position. Reds kind of in a pinch spot as well, because not only Reds is getting shot from both sides, from the left and the right. Finally, she was aggressed on by the team 2A and was put down towards the very end, in which case scenario Team Doi is no longer inside of that game. Team 2A got their 3 kills at that point. All 3 of the players was eliminated, and Team 2A, without even losing a single player, which was Ruje, dead at the very start. The 3 players that survived are still going to be alive with all of their players intact, all of their players lives intact and towards this position. But once again, Team R4MV is going to be fighting against the Team Lucid in this case scenario, in which case scenario a Bad Meow is making her way forward towards the players, in which case just look at that. The Team Lucid player is kind of like super low on that HP. Uwu is super low. She's kind of like in a pinch spot, and as she was trying to heal herself, she was taken down and eliminated at that point. Finally, another team has gone towards the lobby side, leaving us with a total of 28 players and 9 total teams that are going to be surviving. FFRV, Veera RS, she's going to be alive alongside of Vinny RS as well. Team FRR, how these girls, the 2 players are going to survive is going to be a major question, because right in front of them is going to be Team Zest towards 2 different places, 2 different regions, and at that same time, even if they manage to survive from them, there's going to be the Team ETP, which can also make a huge difference towards the players, which can also make like a huge difference towards these girls as well. RRQ fighting with the Team ETP as well, in which case scenario Team ETP is also facing some casualties towards them. Rayara ID is going to be here, Raven ID, Panda ID, these 3 girls which are going to be alive. How are they going to make a difference? Because Rairal ID finally got a grenade nearby her. She survived that. She got into the backside as well after throwing some grenades, after throwing some molotovs from their side as well, to make a beautiful cover in towards this region, in towards this regard. Now is the time. In 30 seconds, the circle is going to take another shift. The circle is going to make sure that the players are going to be forced to move inside. Team Martyrs are going to be fighting with the Team Nexus as well. Team Martyrs actually threw a nade, a molly, right on towards themselves as well, in which case scenario they were knocked out. One of the player was knocked out from the Team Martyrs as well. They will be giving out that rev. They are going to be giving out that rev. But after that, Team ETP and at the same time RRQ, how these 2 teams are actually going to make a difference, because Team ETP, they're finally moving inside of that circle. As the circle has actually started, Team ETP has decided to move inside of the circle first, but Team RRQ, they're still waiting out over there. Team Nexus, they're also going to be fighting, as a Hazel is taking the fight off towards the players, and Mystify is also going to be taking the fight as well, getting 1 knock. RRQ, Rayar ID, she's kind of like low on that HP right now. She's been taken down, I believe so, but Mystify finally is going to be taking out the fight with the Team ETP as well. There goes a Molotov on towards the player. Team Nexus is right there waiting out for the players, throwing the grenades, throwing the throwables all around that area in hopes to eliminate the players, in hopes to get the kills for themselves. But there goes the molly on towards the players. Finally, the 1 player from the Team Nexus has been taken down. There goes the molly, in which case scenario Team Epic is kind of like in a pinch spot as well. Mystify's grenade has knocked out one of the players. Fendi's also been taken down of the Team Nexus. There goes another grenade towards the players. That grenade can make a difference, in which case scenario Mai was taken down. More Molotovs can make a huge difference in towards that regard. It's a 1 versus 1 scenario that actually happened. A trade-off eliminations on towards the player. Team Nexus is surviving as a 3-girl squad, and at that same time, Team ETP is going to also survive the 3-girl squad as well at that position at that time. But there goes the grenade once again towards the Team Nexus side as well, which is definitely going to do a huge sum of damage on towards the player. Not the eliminations, but yes, some chunk damage was done over towards the player. The fight is finally back towards the top 5 teams, top 5 region, whereas the 15 players are going to be surviving in towards this region and towards this fight. Martyr's waifu, she has been taken down. Eloise and Doctors are going to be the only 2 players alive for the team Martyrs, in which case scenario, Doctor kind of like far away as well. Eloise kind of like close by towards the team, but she cannot get anywhere close by to her own team to save herself up, to get her back on her feet, because she knows as soon as she's going to move, she's going to be spotted. Team Zest is also going to be fighting with the team Nexus as well. Nexus versus Zest can potentially happen as well, but there we go. Shazadi's fire is going to be on waifu as well. Waifu has been eliminated. Eloise kind of like once again going for that prone fight, prone area, prone region. The Molotovs, the grenades, the mages come towards her as well. The throwables are definitely making sure that every player is kind of like in a pinch spot as well, because a single in towards the point region grenade can lead up to the player's elimination. But Mofar, she has been taken down by the play zone. Team ETP is also facing out the casualties from outside of the play zone as well, eliminating 2 of the players, I believe. So C and Hira, when the leaving the final player as that knee, she was eliminated by Shazadi's grenade, precise grenade at that time. And that's what the grenade we're talking about. That's what the grenade we were looking for, a precise grenade on towards the player, leaving a total fight to a 4 versus 3 versus 2 scenario. Team Martyrs is going to be alive with the 3-kill squad, 12 kills with Team Nexus, and they're going to be alive with the 3-kill squad at that point, eliminating one of the players of the Team Martyrs as well, knocking her out, leaving Eloise as the final hope of the team. The tap fires are definitely going to be done by Shazadis, and hope to like get on towards Eloise nerves at that time, Eloise's position at that time. But Team Sola, these girls are going to be alive as well, with all 4 of their players still standing inside of that game. One player is being knocked out, which is Mofar. She's been given out that rev. She's right now receiving out that revival factor on towards that. The Molotovs did come close, but not the elimination, not the damage on towards the player. Maybe it was if it was a grenade, things may have been different, things could have been gone different. But Doctor, she's not getting out that rev so far any like time soon, because Eloise, as soon as she's gonna move, she's gonna be spotted by the team Nexus as well. But once again, Eloise has decided to move out of that region. There's only going to be 3 kits first of all whatsoever for this girl, and maybe after using all of these 3 kits, she's going to make a difference. She's going to try to move inside of that circle, but no, it's not going to be possible. Even if she tried to use that first aid kit right now, she's not going to be able to do that. Team Martyrs is going to be no longer into the game and towards the top 3 region. Team Martyrs have tried to get their top 3 position towards themselves, and not only that, they actually succeeded into getting the top 3 position. But now Team Nexus versus Team Sola is going to be the major concerning thing, because not only Team Nexus has a better opportunity of getting the eliminations on towards the player, as they have more firepower, as they were like engaged more into the fights compared to the Team Sola, but Team Sola has a more player advantage. They have more like player in this position. Mystify tried her level best to get into the close range in that region, but Elsa, she has eliminated the player. She has knocked down Mystify as well. Hazel has also been spotted, but there goes the M416 spray. It's not going to be possible for the player to get the eliminations at that point, but there comes a grenade, and at that same time the fire from Elsa's side as well, knocking another yet player out towards that region, leaving only a fight towards a 1 versus 3 scenario, in which case seen it's a Fiano versus Shazadi. Shazadi has been a player on this other side. Sola has been taken down. It's going to be a 1v1, 1v2, 1v3, and with that, beautifully done by the Team Nexus, getting a winner chicken dinner for themselves. Not only that, but all credit goes towards Shazadi getting that 1v3 right at that point down towards the players, getting that eliminations on towards the players, and beautiful chicken dinner for themselves. A total, and I say a total of 17 kills were done by the team and Nexus at that point, getting that winner chicken dinner out for themselves at that time. And I'd say it's amazing for these girls. Even though the fight was like at a heavy disadvantage towards the Team Nexus, they still managed to pull themselves out of that position. They managed to get themselves in towards that region and got the chicken dinner for themselves. Team Sola, if we're talking about these girls, they managed to get like 6 kills for themselves in the 2nd position, and on the 3rd it's going to be Team Martyrs with only 4 kills whatsoever. But if we're talking about the MVPs, how can we forget the factor that it's going to be 8 kill MVP this time around? It's going to be Nexus Hazel with 1176 damage, 8 kills, and 4 bonuses towards this girl. Somewhere in this region, it's going to be a lot of damage in comparison to her kills, in comparison to her like eliminations and towards the first match. But with that, the first match of Erangel has finished, and with that, I think it's time to ask you to like hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. Share the stream as much as possible because the fights have just started. We will be going on a short break, and with that, after that, we will be coming back on with the second match, which will be Miramar, hopefully. So until then, you guys take care of yourself. We will be right back after the short break, and don't go anywhere.
All the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're
Alright. We are finally once again back after the short break, after the short while, with the second match of the Global Girls Championship, the semi-finals, Group A, Day 1, whereas the Group A will be played today, with the first match being completed. That was the Erangel 1, and after that the second match is going to be held out on towards the map of the Sandhawk region. It's going to be that area where the second match is going to be taken a place. A total of 17 teams this time around has joined inside of that match. One more team, like a +1 team from till the last match, because in the last match there were like a total of 16 teams, joined the 17 this time around. Straight up moving towards the plane line, we can see the plane flight of the plane path of the Sandhawk match, whereas almost like we already know that all of the Sandhawk is going to be accessible for the teams, but still the favorable spot of the Sandhawk is going to be the eastern region, whereas Mognai, the plane line actually starts from Mognai towards the Bantai area, Bantai region. But in that regard, now Whereas Paradise, whereas Bootcamp, whereas Python is easily completely accessible for the teams, no one actually went towards that area. Nobody went towards that singular region if they do not want to have like those early engagement fights. They did not wanted to have those early engagement. They did not wanted to have those early fights for each other against each other. So that is the reason that they did this. That is the reason that they did not want a single place where it can be like a hot drop majority area. But once again, in towards the region, in towards the heart inside, we can see a lot of teams like kind of like close by to each other, kind of like close by to each other. Once again, fighting against them. And one of the team that is going to be taking the fight is going to be team at 2A team. There is going to be Sola as well. There is going to be the G1 as well. So a total of 3 teams that are going to be fighting against each other in this regard. How the teams are actually going to hold off for themselves in this regard, in this region, is going to be a major question, because in towards the kill feed, we can also see the Doi versus team Martyrs is actually happening as well. So not only in the Hathin region, we can see a fight. There's going to be different regions, whereas the early engagement have already been started. Team Martyrs have lost 2 of their players, and at that same time, 1 player is kind of like AFK, a waifu. She's kind of like far away as well. Red's coming from the backside, but doctor, are you AFK? Are you not AFK? Is going to be a major question. But Team Sola, once again, these girls are going to be fighting, as they've lost 2 of their players as well in towards that regard. Mofa, one of the like duo that is surviving from the Team Sola, is actually going to be moving into the backside, trying to get like a more maybe first aid kits, more ammunitions for herself at that regard, at that position. But no, it's not going to help her that much. G1 is going to be fighting with the Team 2A at that position, at that time, as Team 2A Liluka, she has been eliminated. She has been killed at that time. Team G1, the team that was knocked out at the very start, is still alive with all of their players still standing inside of that match, still standing on towards their own feet. Ananas, Kimi, Invisible, Chino, all 4 girls are going to be alive. Not only that, on top of that, these girls have 3 kills so far whatsoever. Team 2A kind of in a pinch. March's Doctor, she has been also spotted by Doi. Team Doi got their 3rd kill as well in towards this regard, as they were fighting with the Team March's. Right now, Waifu is going to be the solo player standing for the whole team. Waifu is not only just going to be the solo player, a singular hope for the team. As soon as her door is going to be open, she's going to be spotted. She has given out her location with using that Uzi spray. But no, it's not going to help her anytime soon. She's going to be getting killed at that point. And Red not only managed to get a total of 4 kills for the team, but 3 kills whatsoever out of those 4s are going to be in regards of Doi Red at that time. So somewhere in that area, 1v3 was completed by Doi Reds for herself, for her team. Moving back onto the Team Solar, these girls are still going to be alive. The 2 girls standing, Team 2A, they are standing as well alongside of Team G1, in which case scenario Team G1 is still alive with all 4 of their players inside of that match, in towards of that region. But Duga right now, she's taking a look at the car, she's taking a look at the coupe at this position, in which case regard, if anyone tried to get in towards that coupe, if anyone even tried to get inside of that coupe, it's going to be all over at that time for that particular player. But once again, Duga giving out her location by using that M416 spray towards Team G1. Now that the Team G1 knows where the players are, now the Team G1 knows where the enemies are actually going to be, because not only Duka now needs to get out of this position for her own team's sake, she also has to make sure that Wisdom and Ruje also follows her. They also like gets into the backside together with her, because staying into a safer side, even if you're like a solo player, it's not like really good for you and your team at that point, because you're playing as a team in this game, you're playing as a full squad in this game, and leaving even one player from outside of your area, from outside of your region, is going to cost you a lot. Not maybe at that time, but after like sometimes after like some shifts from the circle, it may just cost you a lot at that position. So it's better to like keep all of your players closer towards yourself and move together with them, instead of just going for the solo like runaway position, going for the solo survival position at that point. And even on top of that, right now a total of 16 teams that are going to be surviving. Finally the circle is closing in, whereas we saw like more than half of the teams, almost like 75 to 80% of the teams were actually outside of the circle. Now is the time that they will be making sure that and making their way inside of that circle in this regard. Whereas going towards the circle, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. There might be a lot of bloodshed at that point. So teams not only have to be really careful in this position in this region, but also each and every single team has to make sure that their position is not revealed by anyone, because even right now team G1 has seen R4MV. As soon as they have seen R4MV, Chino has just got into a safer side and just got into a position where she may able to shoot at the players, but no, she's not doing that. She's going for that safer side as well, whereas she might not be spotted by the teams, and because of that, both of the teams can easily go their own separate ways. Both of the teams can easily go their own separate locations wherever they want to go. But there we go. The circle has taken its shift as well. The circle has decided to go towards the boot camp, the Painan region, the ruin side as well, in which case scenario the dead hard centralized position is going to be nearby the ruins, almost like outskirts of the ruins of Painan's a bridge at that point. But team AD, they're fighting with the team MV Zest. Zest was eliminated at a singular point. 3 kills on Maya's side, a total of 3 kills for the whole team, and a total eliminations on towards the team. Maya somewhere around this area, as she was trying to get inside of that circle, not just managed to pull off that 1v3, but also managed to even eliminate another team out of this match. Team EDP is also going to be fighting with Team Nexus as well. Team Nexus versus EDP is going to happen, in which case scenario Team EDP right now is outside of the circle. They were fighting with the Team Nexus, in which case regard Team Nexus kind of in a pin spot at this position, because not only also they have to make sure that they come inside of that circle, they get inside, they also have to make sure that they are not spotted in towards this region, because the circle is also gonna not be in towards their favor for the next time as soon as it's gonna start. So Team Nexus has to be also really careful. Hazel is gonna be taking out the fight over towards the teams as well. Once again, the M416, the QBG in fact spray was done on towards the Team ETP, in which case scenario one of the players from the Team ETP was taken down. But once again, Team Nexus Hazel, she's gonna be in a pinch spot, because Mystify also has to be saved right now. Hazel is going to be throwing out a lot of grenades, a lot of smokes on towards her guards, on towards her region, on towards her rock, and after that there's going to be a coup rotation towards this girl's side, maybe in hopes to try to save Mystify in this regard. But there we go. Whereas she has spotted her car, whereas she has stored her car, it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be an ideal position, because her car has the chance of getting blown up by the team of the Team ETP, where the players of the Team ETP in this position, in this region, and Hazel has to be really careful on where she's gonna go. But there we go. Team Zest EV finally has been eliminated by the outside of the play zone. In fact, outside of the play zone, Zest EV was finished off. Total 14 teams are still gonna be alive. 51 players are gonna be surviving in total. Hazel finally fighting with the Team ETP as well. Knee has been taken down this time around. C has spotted Mystify, and Mystify at that same position was taken down once again. Before it was like a hill drop elimination, hill drop knockdown. This time around it's C that has knocked the player down, but now C also has a chance to eliminate out the car of the team Nexus at this point. And as soon as they're going to be eliminating the car of the Team Nexus is going to be stranded out there. Team 4S Esports, they're going to be super close by to the Team SR in this regard. Lisa, Melina, Goshal, and there's going to be Shiraz Azar as well. Whereas all 4 the players, Shiraz has 4 players that are going to be alive from the Team SR in this regard. How these girls are actually going to make a difference is going to be a huge either a turn up for the team or either a turn down for a team, because if one of the players gets eliminated in this regard, it's going to be putting themselves in a bad position, because not only they have to be really careful in this regard, in this position. Now is that time in which case Shiraza was knocked down from the backside, from a third party angle, from a third different region. Now is that time that Shiraza not only has to be giving out a rep, but at the same time she has to be brought into a safer side location, into a cover side location, a beautiful position whereas she will not get a single shot on towards her region, on towards herself, and she can easily survive in towards the region as well. But once again, Shazadi is going to be inside of that water. Team ETP is also coming inside of that region, inside of that circle. position as well. Mr. 5 once again is taken down. Mr. 5 is kind of like losing a lot of HP, a lot of chunks outside of the circle, inside of that water, and there we go. Finally, maybe a rev was going to be done. No, it's not going to be done. Shazadi is super like... Shazadi was close by towards the player, which was Mr. 5, but at that same time, Hazel, how is Hazel gonna do it? How is Hazel gonna actually survive this regard in this position? Because not only she does not have any kind of like healing on to herself, but she only got like one molly, one painkiller, and 5 bandages that she can only use to heal herself. And even on top of that, Shazadi was taken down by the team ETP as well. Duka is going to be here. A total of 1 kill so far for the team 2A, and at that same regard, at that same position, R4MV is going to be spotted by these girls on top of this mountain. It's going to be somewhat of a camp, Alpha Island, whereas now the team that are stopping them is going to be team 2A. Even if they like manage to get past through Duka in this regard, in this position, there's still going to be 2 more players from the team 2A that is going to be inside of that circle, inside of that white circle, that will make sure that their players get more kills, that their team get more kills for themselves. And right now what Duka is going to do is going to be a really major question, because most of the team actually depends upon her at this point. If she can manage to hold off R4MV in this regard, she can actually make a difference. She can make sure that not her team just get like more elimination points on towards themselves. They can also like manage to like get into the top 12, whereas they will finally at least get 1 position point for themselves. So there we go. Bad Meow finally has been spotted out. There we go. The fire on the Legion has been also done. Mona has been taken down. 2 players back to back from the team 2A Duka side has been taken down, which is going to be team R4 MV, leaving only the final player as the solo hope of the team, which was from for MV Bad Meow. How is she gonna actually make a difference? How is she gonna like move forward is going to be a major question for the teams as well, because not only Duka now is a stepping stone for the players, is now a really concerning player for the team, for the Bad Meows further like movement is going to be also the stepping stone that she has to actually do to get in towards not only the circle, but at that same time a good position for her team as well. But there we go, Team Lucid, they're also going to be fighting with the Team AIM as well. Team AIM, whereas they are facing a lot of casualties on towards their side, I think Team AIM is going to be down towards the last only player, which is going to be Maya right now. And as Maya, we see Maya having that QBZ, and on the other hand it's going to be a Thompson. How is she going to fight against the team is going to be a really major concerning thing, because it's a 1v1, it's a close range fight. M416 versus QBZ is not going to help that much, as the ZMSM is going to be eliminating Maya, taking out all of the Team AIM players, getting the kills, not just for her own team, but for like herself at that position. Now is that time for the top 12 teams to actually shine. DOI, Team DOI is going to be alive, which is still inside of that circle, which is still like alive inside of that circle, waiting out for the players on how they're actually going to move. And even the circle has taken a shift towards these girls. Even the circle has taken its shift towards the nearby the ruins region, whereas half of the ruins are still going to be inside of that circle. Bridge is going to be inside of that circle. R4 MW MV Bad Meow is outside. And the only player that is actually outside is the Bad Meow herself at that position at this point. Team 2A is making sure that they come inside of that circle as well. They get into the circle region as well. Team Cave is also going to be fighting against the 4E at that position in this regard. And as these girls are going to be actually engaging with one another, how these girls are actually like gonna survive is a major concerning thing, because not only all these 12 teams, 35 players have to get inside of that circle, get inside of that region, whereas they will be put off against each other in this regard in hopes to like fight with the other team, fight with the other player. How these are going to do. Sonia, she's here. Stiggs GL is going to be there. There's going to be 4S esports, 3 players at this regard, at this location, which is going to be Mars GL in this regard, Stiggs GL, and the last players, which is Imanok at this position. Total 12 teams still alive, 33 players that are still going to be surviving. ETP Knee, she's going to be taking out the fights alongside of the teams, finally getting an engagement on towards the team FRR, in which case Team FRR, one player has been taken down. The rest two players are still going to be outside of the circle. In which regard, once again, Mai is going to be taking out that fight once again in hopes of knocking out the player. She was doing the damage. She did the damage on towards the player, but it was not elimination enough. The player still survived, but after that, it was done by someone of the team ETP, the player from a different angle, knocking one of the players once again out of the FRR. Team FRR back towards their own two players, which is going to be Soka and Vira RS in this region. But there we go. Look at that. Mai with that amazing and astonishing M416 zero recoil spray, a precise spray on towards the players, knocking them out, getting them knocked out at that region, at that position, at that regard. A total of so far 6 kills towards the team ETP. But there we go. As soon as the last player is going to be eliminated, it's going to be 8 kills for these girls in towards this region. A total of 11 teams are still going to be surviving. 29 players are still inside of that lobby, inside of this lobby. In fact, the second match, which is the Sanok this time around, and one player, which is going to be Loraichi. 40 first aid kits, and God know how long she was outside of the circle, but even before this. But outside of the circle, we can see ZMSM. She has been taken down. Loraichi has to heal herself, and right over there, she's going to be healing herself as well. 40 first aid kits are going to be a lot of numbers. It's going to be a big number. Cave is also going to be taking the fight against the team as well, in which case scenario, just look at that. Team Cave finally has taken out the fight as well. The circle is going to be taking a shift as well. Team ETP, they're also fighting. Team Zola is also fighting for their life as well, as a Mofar is the final player and she's in the water. Team ETP G is going to be outside of the circle, which has been taken down. She has also been taken down. Team Cave, they're still going to be alive. They're still going to be making a difference for the whole team, in which case Amaya and Loraichi, in which regard Amaya was eliminated right at that point, leaving Loraichi as the final hope of the team, with 33 kits still being alive, with 33 kits still being in towards her regard. How is she going to actually hold off this area? How is she going to actually survive is going to be a major concerning thing. To Aduka, they're over here. Ni is going to be there. Ryred is going to be in this regard. Ruje versus Team ETP Ni, in which case regard Team Ni was eliminated. ETP was taken down, leaving Hira as the final hope of the team. And Hira not only is outside of the circle, but also inside of that water. She has to make sure that she gets inside of the water. She does not receive the damage from the water side as well into her lungs, because 1 to 2 more damage on towards that region is going to be enough for her eliminations in this regard. But there we go. 4S is also coming inside of that circle. Manok GL is making sure that her position is not compromised in this regard. She has to put the car inside of that water. But there we go. As soon as they're going to be spotting Hira, maybe Manok GL is going to move into the backside, whereas her car is going to be her major favorable spot. And no, it's not going to be that easy for the Manok right now, as Manok has seen Hira die right into her eyesight. Now is going to be the time. How is she going to survive is going to be a major concerning thing, because on the left side there's going to be another team, which is going to be Team Sola. Sola is actually making her way close by towards this girl in hopes to get the elimination on not just the player but Manok GL. She has been stranded inside of the water, same position as Hira was. Hira was getting shot from the Team 2A, and this girl, Manok GL, is going to receive the shots from not just the Team 2A, but at the same time Sola as well. But Sola Mofa, once again, this girl is going to be here fighting against the Team SR in this regard, in which case Goshal is going to be one of the last players for the team. And there we have it. The fire was done on the Mofa side and got the eliminations on towards the team. Team 2A is also going to be making their way close by towards the team, but Team 2A, they're going to be facing some kind of a fire on towards the players. The solo player that is actually surviving outside is going to be Loraichi, which is with the 35 plus first aid kits. But Mofar got a beautiful grenade thrown on towards their side, getting her elimination. Loraichi is going to be the solo player surviving for her team with 15 kits so far right now, and she has managed to even heal herself. In this regard, a total of 2 kills for the Team Cave and 9 kills for the Team 2A. The completion of the Team 2A having that winner chicken dinner is going to be unstoppable at this position, but the circle is also going to take its shift. If the Loraichi has managed to save herself out before the circle actually closes on, she can actually will die after the circle ends. But if that is the case, if her first aid kits runs out first, it's going to be and even early elimination towards this girl. At this point, it's just a timer for how the player are actually going to survive, how far can you just hold yourself, how far can you hold out, delay out the chicken dinner for the other team. It's just a game of this point at this point right now. But Wisdom finally with the 4 first aid kits, she's getting inside of that circle as well. Ruja, Duka, Wisdom, these 3 kills are going to be surviving, with Duka having 5 kills, Ruja having 3 kills, 1 kill on Wisdom, and Luca having 0 kill whatsoever. Final 6 first aid kits on Loraichi. How is she going to actually survive this regard is going to be a major question, because not only she's actually surviving so far, but her 40 first aid kits are gonna be useless. Not just useless, but at that same time we can say some kind of useful as well, because she managed to get out on the top 2 position despite having just 2 kills for the whole team, which was 1 from Amaya and 1 from Logica. So these 2 girls have finally managed to get 2 kills for the team, and after that the position game was just on the Loraichi as well. But there we go, the final first aid kit has been done. There we go, Loraichi is going to be using those emotes to hope and enjoy her like a second position in towards the game. But there we go, as soon as the emote is going to end, she's going to die as well. And with that, we have the winner chicken dinner for the team 2A at that point, at this position, with a total of 9 kills in towards their name and towards their like a backpack. Somewhere around that area, Team 2A not only managed to get a beautiful winner chicken dinner for themselves, but at that same time a good amount of kills for them as well. So with that, the second match has also taken its shift as well, in which case Team 2A is going to be that a winner chicken dinner team. But second position still goes towards the cave team, in which case scenario, Loraichi was that solo player that not only just used 40 plus kits, first aid kits to heal herself, to keep herself alive in towards this region, but also got that second position for the team. A total of 2 kills for the girls, a GG and a well played. But once again, on the number 3rd, we can see the team Sola, with Piano, Elza, Manny, and Mofa having 2 kills as well. But at the same time, Team Mofa, Team Sola managed to get that second position for themselves. But with that, the second match has also taken its like end as well. With that, now is the time to go on a short break, because this time around we don't have an MVP to show because of some glitches, some PUBG's glitch. So we are not going to be showing MVPs this time around. We will be straight up taking a short break. You guys don't go anywhere. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and share button as well, because there's going to be still a 3rd match and a 4th match as well. So we will see you on that. Until then, don't go, stay here, stay tuned. We will be right back.
Don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and how you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. On to the place where all this began. Just start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost.
All right. We are finally back after the short break, after the short while, guys, with the third match, which will be actually Miramar. And finally, as we have finally moved towards the Miramar match, how the teams are actually going to be moved forward in towards that, because in towards the Sandhawk, we already know that the teams try to go for that early engagements, in which case scenario we actually saw the early engagements, but now is that time for a slow pace map. How the teams are actually going to react to that is going to be a major concerning thing, because moving straight up into towards the match, which will be the plane flight right now, we can see from La Cobreria towards the Los Higos is where the plane line is heading from, giving us a slight idea that yes, the western side is actually into the favor, but the circle can already be seen maybe it can take like a hard shift towards the eastern region, whereas Impala, Puerto Paraíso, those are the regions that will be inside of that circle, that will be into the favor of the circle. But for now, the team's major concerning thing for them is on where should they head out. Should they head out from the circle, from the plane line, or they should head out in the opposite direction of that, because the circle is going to take the opposite direction and goes towards the Puerto Paraíso Los Leon side. Almost like a 40% of the circle is going to be outside of that region, inside of that water area, and those areas means that yes, it's not going to be accessible, it's not going to be like available for the teams, so they have to be not just be at the same time careful. The 60% region that has been given to the teams, they have to really survive in towards that region, unless the circle actually takes another hard shift towards the eastern side and goes into even like a further region away. But once again, there's going to be a lot of teams that are super close by to each other after the Sandhawk. The thing is actually gonna start once again. The early stages fight is actually gonna start once again. So moving towards the live section, we can just straight up go and see how the team might just actually work against each other, where the teams might just go for each other's fight, because in towards this region, in towards this regard, it's going to be a really hectic situation. Lucid Bings, there's going to be Pew Pew, there's going to be ZMSM, there's going to be like the fourth player, which is going to be O from the team Lucid, that is right now alive. All four players that are standing in towards the game, in towards the El Pozo region. But team G1 right on the opposite side, these girls are going to be alive with all four of their players standing in towards the match as well, joining into the match as well. But if we're talking about their formation, they are kind of like far away from each other, not just at that, but at that same time their positions are kind of like scattered around in the El Pozo region. They're kind of like scattered in towards this region, so they're gonna be like put into a bad position, bad scenario in that position, in that particular region, if they get into a face-to-face fight, if any of the team from this region gets knocked down in towards that area. But moving on to the other team, which is gonna be team SR, Goshal is right now here nearby the team Doi, and as team Doi is also moving forward slowly and steadily to get out for their kills, to get more kills for themselves in towards that regard, in towards this region. Are they going to be able to do that? Because Goshal is kind of like far away from his not just the team, but super close by to the team Doi. So one wrong move can lead up to their demise as well, can lead up to their elimination as well. But there we go, finally Doi Sophia is inside of the house, but in the back side we can see Doi Kiki fighting with Lisa as well. Lisa, who's been knocked out. Goshal tried her level best to hold out her position, to hold out her location in towards this regard, whereas she hasn't given out a slight movement on if she's going to be here or not. But at that same time, there we go, the fire has been done. Goshal has also taken down Sophia. Kiki has also been taken down, leaving Megumi as the final hope for the team, in which case Shirazes from a long distance fight is going to be using that UMP to eliminate not just the player, but also get the kill for the players, for her team as well. But Megumi finally going for that rev. Kiki is going to be revved up at that position. Red and Sophia, unfortunately for these two girls, they're going to be no longer into the game. They've been thrown back towards the lobby side, spectator seat side. But now is the time for the rest of the teams, in which case maybe in the Picado, maybe in the other regions of the map, that the teams are actually going to take a step forward to fight against each other. Because right now in the Picado region, we can see not one, not two, but three teams kind of like close by to each other, and even a single moment from each and every single one of the player can lead up to their whole team's demise, can lead up to their casualties for the whole team in towards that scenario. Or even if not the whole team, there will be like a lot of casualties. There can be like a really big casualties over towards the player as well. But once again, Jessica with that Winchester 97, she's going to be using that to try and take down the Team Cave players. But no, it's not going to be possible, as Jessica is also getting shots from Sonia's side. Sonia's 3x is going to be doing some kind of shots on towards the player, forcing them to get into a safer region as well, a safer side as well. But once again, these three teams, how are these three teams actually are gonna fight against each other? Because it's gonna be a really really concerning thing on who's gonna take that upper fight, who's gonna make sure that he or she gets the upper hand. Right, so we were talking about the team that is like kind of like close by to each other, and these three teams on what their next move is going to be, actually, because a single wrong move can lead up to their demise, as we were talking about. But there we go, Megumi has been finally taken down by the team SR as well. There goes the UMP 45 sprays from Logica side, getting a half damage, getting a half HP on towards the team RRQ's player. But there we go, the Uzi fire is also being done over towards the player as well. Panda, she's going to be here. She's going to be using that UMP towards the fullest side. 35 bullets inside of that UMP on that Uzi. In fact, if that Uzi can actually take down even one player, there's a slight chance that the team can regroup back towards their position. The team can regroup back towards their own locations and finally get the fight back towards a 4 versus 4, 4 versus 3, or even the 4 versus 7 scenario. But now, if Panda gets eliminated, that is the main concerning thing, that the whole team, and I say the whole team, will be scattered in shambles at that point, because losing a one player at this early stages of the fight can lead up to your demise as well. Team RRQ has to be really careful on not losing a single player and not losing a single player at that position at that point. But once again, Team Cave, Sonia is trying her level best to get in towards the position as well. Nearby the Team Zest, in which scenario there comes a grenade, but that grenade is going to be short-lived as it's going to be cancelled out. But there we go, once again the grenade is being cooked up. The grenade has been thrown up in towards the player as well. The splash damage is going to be done, but not the elimination on towards the player. The damage is not going to be enough for the eliminations of the players. But there we go, after Sonia's grenade, it's going to be 3 consistent smokes in hopes to get into a safer side, to get into the cover side. Team Cave is also facing some casualty, but there we come, Sonia having that Molotov right on her faces as well. She's gonna have a lot of damage on towards her side. Team Cave is fighting with the Team RRQ, in which case scenario, just look at that, there's going to be one elimination. That was done by Loraichi. Loraichi got Team RRQ down and eliminated. At that point, the second player is also coming. The UMP 45 can make a difference, can make a huge difference on towards the player, not just eliminating them, but also getting the kill for themselves at this position, because there's going to be 3 players, so a team have to be really careful. Loraichi have to be really careful on what she's gonna do, because Loraichi not only is giving out her own locations towards the Team RRQ, but from the backside we can see Team Zest may also be able to spot them out at that position. But into the kill feed, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed in towards that area, in towards that region, whereas the teams Lucid is one of the team that is outside of the circle. And not just that they are also fighting with the teams which is from the Team Goshel side, Team SR side. Goshel has been eliminated, Lija has been eliminated, leaving only 2 players as the final hope of the team, which is going to be Shirazas and Melina. These 2 girls are going to be the only 2 survival for the whole team, and as they're outside the circle, the first move is actually going to be to how to get inside of that circle, to how to stay inside of that circle without facing any kind of casualties. But there we go, the M416 spray is going to be done on the RRQ side. Team Zest, their location has been also revealed. Once again, it's going to be an M4 versus a UMP towards her hand. But there we go, that AKM is finally going to be picked up. The close range is going to be changed towards an AKM. Still outside of the circle, Team Cave is going to be fighting with the MV Supergirl, in which case scenario, Supergirl has been taken down. Oh my god, we, without any kind of healing, is trying a level best to find some kind of healing on towards her side. But there we go, the other players, Hinata also has been taken down. Jessica having that 9 bandages on towards her side. She's trying a level best to get inside of that circle, but look at that. After that, we can go towards the EV side. Evie with her a base form. Let's see if she's gonna be evolved into something good or not, or she's actually gonna be eliminated at this position, because so far she has managed to get outside of that blue circle, in fact, and get into a safer side so far. But the car that is right now moving, it can be brought down as well, because one wrong move in towards this area is gonna be enough to eliminate the player. But there we go, the players have finally decided to get into the safer side. Now the next move that they need to do is get inside of that circle, heal themselves up, and once again ready themselves for another fight, ready themselves up, back for the fights, back for the engagements against the team, because it's going to be a really hectic situation. Team RRQ, these girls are going to be in the front side of the team Cave as well, in which case scenario 3 kills so far for the team Cave in towards this region. But at that same time, if we're talking about the team RRQ, these girls are also going to be alive with 3 girls standing with 0 kills so far. But Panda was that person that was eliminated at that point. Gina, Raira, and Raven. These 3 girls are going to be alive from the team RRQ. So not only these 3 girls are kind of like the only hope for the team, but at the same time now they are outside of that circle. They're actually over towards the outside, because even if the circle moves on right now, if the circle decide to shrink on right here in this position, they're going to be in a major setback, because not only they don't have that many healings, but also they don't have a good position for themselves. But there we go, the fire has been done. Raven tried a level best to find out the players where they are. She tried to do some random shots on towards the player, but it was not possible. It was not enough. Raven right now along with our team is going to be moving inside of that circle, whereas the circle has started. It's going to be back again with the team RRQ and team Cave. From the back angle, team Cave have a better chance of eliminating the team RRQ in this position, in this regard, because not only this car is kind of like slow, but at that same time there's a person that is in the back seat of that car as well. If the car is blown up into pieces, into smithereen, it's going to be all eliminations on towards the players. There can be more possibilities of the eliminations on towards the player, but no, it's not going to be done. Mystify is going to be taking out the fight as well. Team Nexus is going to be taking out the engagements against the team. 2A is going to be fighting with the team G1. They're going to be engaging once again with different teams and different scenarios. And towards this regard, team ETP is right now down towards the last 2 players, in which case scenario Hira was eliminated. C and Mia are going to be the only 2 hope for the team, because not only these 2 are going to be like kind of separate in towards this regard, in towards this region, they also have to be really careful for each other as well, for each other position as well, because one can give out your cover, but what's the chance that you are also going to receive the same cover that you're going to give out to the other player? But there we go, finally it has been done. C has been taken down, leaving Mai as the final hope of the team. And as soon as Mai see that C was eliminated, she has decided to get into the backside. She has decided to go away from this region and stay into a safer location, whereas she will be able to like hold off her position, hold off her location in towards this regard. But there we go, another circle shift is going to be done towards the Puerto Paraíso. Half of the Puerto Paraíso is going to be inside of that circle, and the rest half is the beach side of that area. But team Lucid, these girls are also going to be taking the fight. So far so good, 4 kills for these girls out of 3, which was given to ZMSM in this position, in this regard. And 1v3 was completed towards this girl. A total of 14 teams are still going to be alive in towards this game, in towards this match of the Miramar. So somewhere the teams are definitely using the Miramar to its fullest, towards its like a complete edge towards this region. But once again, the fight is going to be done. G1 versus team R4MV is going to happen, in which case scenario Ananas is going to be taken down towards her knees, eliminated at that point, leaving only 3 players that are going to be alive, which is Chino, Kimi, and 20 as the only hope for the team. But as we're talking about 20 is kind of like far away from the team. Kimi and Chino are going to be the only 2 teams, players that are actually kind of like close by towards the team, that are actually kind of like close by towards the players of the team R4MV. But with that, there's a slight chance that these 2 girls also can be taken down. These 2 girls can also be taken away, taken aback by the players, because there's going to be a third party that will make a difference in towards this region. RRQ is going to be that team that is going to be doing a third party in this regard. Kimi's car has been blown away. Kimi was taken down. Kimi has to be really into the safer side, but Chino, she's trying a level best to get into like a position, whereas her location will not be compromised, whereas her location will be into the safe side. But there we go, 20 with that, a mini 14, 8 times scope. There comes the tap on towards the team RRQ in hopes to get the eliminations on towards those girls. If she can actually get those eliminations on towards the girl, there's a chance that yes, her elimination, the player's elimination, may just be enough for the players. But once again, 20, she's gonna be here. She's gonna be super close by towards the team R4MV players that are going to be in towards this regard. 20 is going to be using that UMP to fire on towards them side, but no, it's not going to be possible to eliminate them, as 20 was that person that got the damage on towards her side as she was trying to eliminate the other team. But the Circle is going to take another shift yet once again. Team RRQ has to make sure that they get inside of that circle as well. But before they get the elimination on towards the player, they're not going to be moving any forward. And as we're seeing them actually trying their level best to make a difference in towards this regard, just look at their HP, just look at their position. They don't have the cars, they don't have the healing for themselves, but at that same time, they don't have any transport location for themselves as well. They have to make sure that they get the kills here if they want to make a difference. But there we go, the fire has been done by Raira from the team RRQ in hopes to get the knock, which she did, which she got the knock. But at the same time, the other player, which was Ginai, she was taken down. Raven is kind of like super low on that HP, and there is no way that Raven is actually going to survive as well. Move it on to the Rarai as well. Rarai has no healing whatsoever as well. Cave Sonia is going to be fighting with the Team Zest as well. Team Zest trying their level best to get into the position as well. But there we go. Raven is going to be dying in 3, 2, 1. And there we have it. Team has been completely eliminated, which is going to be the team RRQ. Outside of the play zone, 2 players were eliminated and 1 player was killed by the 2 players, in fact, was killed by the enemy side, which was I believe so team R4MV. And not only that, team R4MV even decided to kill even more players, getting a total of 2 kills so far whatsoever for their own good, for their own team. A total of 13 teams are actually going to be surviving. A total of 13 teams are actually going to be making a difference in towards the regard, in hopes to get the position for themselves. But as we're talking about team R4MV's position, are they going to be able to get inside of that circle? Are they going to be able to hold off their position inside of that circle? Because not only they don't have a car anymore, they don't have any kind of transport for themselves, but at the same time, if we're talking about their distance is going to be 1,000 meters in outside of the circle. But team Nexus, these girls are going to be over here. Turu Love, she's going to be alongside of the team Nexus as well, which is from KOD side. In fact, Rosa Baby, Hazel, and Mystify. These 3 girls are going to be surviving. But there we go, rush on the Mystify. Mystify is going to get down. Mystify is going to be on her knees right now in hopes to get some revival factor on towards herself. But Hazel, she's going to be on top of the house. She's going to be taking the fight against the player, which is Mofar. But Mofar is going to be turning the opportunity in towards her favor as well, getting another knock on towards the team Nexus side. A wonderful knock, a wonderful combo fire on towards the girl. Mofa got the elimination on towards the Hazel. Hazel is going to be no longer into the game as well, because the Rosa Baby, I don't think so that she's actually going to be moving. And from what I see, I believe that Rosa Baby is no longer into the game as well. She's kind of AFK. She's kind of gone from this match as well. So what she can hope for, what the other team can hope for, is the position that they need. That is the other team get eliminated, their position gets into the top 10, top 5 positions in towards that region before the circle actually closes on. But they don't know that how many teams are actually gonna lose their life, how many teams are actually gonna go towards the lobby side, because there's still 13 teams and the circle is kind of still big. The teams are still kind of in a pinch position, because not only this position is going to be bad for each and every single one of the team, but where the circle is going to shift is also going to be a major question, is also going to be a major concerning thing, because for now the circle is totally out in the open. The fight for the 4SE against the team Lucid is gonna happen. Pew Pew and Lucid Bings are going to be the only 2 players that are gonna survive. Pew Pew is trying her level best to come and save out the players as well. The circle is gonna be taking a shift as well, 290 meters before the circle is gonna be actually inside. But there comes a grenade towards the Pew Pew side, not only eliminating both of the players from the team Lucid, but at that same time getting a 3rd knock on towards the players, leaving Bing as the final hope. Whereas Bing is right now the final hope of the team. How they are actually going to survive is going to be a major concerning thing, because Pew Pew is not only getting a rev at this position. In 1 minute and 15 seconds, the circle is actually going to start. The circle is actually going to take its another yet turn towards the northern region of the circle. But once again, inside of that, outside of that region, in the blue circle, nearby the edge of the blue circle, we can see the team ETP once again taking out some fights against the teams as well, getting some knocks out on them, but not the elimination. Team FRR, the one player which is gonna be MARTYRS, is the final hope for the team. But there we go. Team AIM is also going to be fighting with the Team MARTYRS, as Team MARTYRS is going to be taking down Team AIM. Both of the teams are actually fighting against of each other. 3 kills so far for the Team MARTYRS in this regard, leaving only 1 player for the Team AIM, as Torte is going to be the last player standing for the whole team scenario. In the last game, we saw like 1 player from the Team AIM being alive as well, and then even in this game, Torte is going to be the solo player standing for the whole team. And how Torte is actually going to make a difference is going to be a really concerning thing, because it's all about Torte. It's all up to Torte right now to not only get a good position for the whole team, because even if right now Torte gets eliminated, she's only going to have a 1 total position point for the team. Regarding the 2 kill positions, kill points, a total of 3 points will be provided towards this girl towards this match so far. But now, will she actually fire? That is a main concerning thing. But there goes the grenade. There goes the grenade that is being cooked up at this position towards the buggy side. It's not going to be doing any kind of damage towards the players. It's not going to do that many damage. But once the grenade is gone, the location kind of has been revealed, because now the Team MARTYRS know that there will be someone close by towards this position, this place. But there goes another grenade towards the Team MARTYRS from the Torte side, in which case scenario the car was almost blown away. 9 teams are still standing, 25 players are going to be alive. The circle is going to be really in the bad favor as for the teams, not only for the bad favor of each and every single one of the teams. Just look at that, not a single team is actually inside of the circle. Once again, Team Solar, these girls are actually going to be fighting. Team Zest, these girls are also gonna fight, as Jessica is the final hope of the team. If we're moving back on towards the Team AIM, once again we can see Team MARTYRS may just fight with them, but Team MARTYRS, they're gonna be going for that heal. Team 2 is gonna be fighting. Team Cave is also taking the fights as well, and as we see Team Cave kind of in a pinch position, as Logica is giving out that ref. 2 is going to be right in front of them. How they're going to survive is a major concerning thing, because there comes the grenade, there comes the sprays, there comes the constant throwable grenades, and each and every single throwable that the Team 2A have at their disposal. 4 players that are going to be alive. They're going to fight in the team that is Cave with 3 players. But there we go, from the backside, Sola, Manny knocking out the Cave players. One of the players have been taken down. Violet is kind of down as well, knocked down. Wisdom is super low on that HP. Team Cave, if we're talking about these girls, Logica is down. Loraichi from the backside is also coming close. Aim Torte is going to be taken down by the MARTYRS as well, leaving a total of 6 teams that are going to be surviving inside of that game. 20 total players that are going to be alive in towards this region, in towards this regard, in towards this position for now for themselves. Violet is also down outside of the circle. Violet was left behind, now as we are seeing the Team 2A moving their way inside of that circle. Team MARTYRS is going to be taking down Team Cave's more player. Another player from the Team Cave was taken down. Loraichi is going to be the solo player standing for the team, as Loraichi is going to be face off with a different team, which is going to be the 4SE. She's also going to be taken down. She's also going to be eliminated, leaving a total of 4 teams that are going to survive for their own a position for their survival. Not only managing to get a top 4 position for themselves, a great and a GG position, but now is that time for the Team 4SC, Team Solar, Team Zest, and 2A to actually make a difference, because so far Solar Elza also has been taken down alongside of Jessica. And as Jessica was taken down, Team Zest is going to be no longer into the game, making the fight a 3-way deadlock in towards this region. 4SE, these girls are going to be alive with 8 kills and 4 players that are going to be surviving. Manok GL, she's going to be using that M4 with that beautiful, and I say beautiful, precision. Not a single shot from the M24 has been missed, and all of the shots are actually hitting on the players. But Team Solar, how these 2 girls are gonna survive, which is Mofar and Manny, are gonna be a major concerning thing, are gonna be a major question for the teams. But Team 2A, these girls also have to make a difference. There goes the like airdrop loot, and inside of that airdrop, which gun is that? It's gonna be an AUG that no one actually gonna is preferred to take, because the AUG is not that good of a gun. AUG is not good of a gun that you can actually use. But there we go. Ruja is going to be shooting at Sola player as well. Sola player once again has been taken down. Mofar being the final player for the whole team. How Mofar is actually going to survive is a major concerning thing, because Ruja not only eliminated the player, but at the same time too, a Wisdom got Mofar down, making the fight a 3 versus 4 scenario. 7 total teams, 7 total players that are still going to be alive. Ruja is actually getting up, fighting on the players, but it's not going to be doing any kind of damage on towards the player, as the other players that know where the players are. Ruja being a solo player for the team, it's going to be shooting at the Pow MIGL, but there we have it. The consistent spray from the team. 4 SE is going to be finally putting them into a winner chicken dinner spot with a total of 12 kills in towards their region, in towards their backpack. And finally, with all of the 4 players that are still going to be alive from the team 4 SE, the winner chicken dinner has been given towards the 4 SE as well. The number 2 position was given to 2A with a total of 4 kills in towards their regards, in towards their backpack as well. Some good like survival position, some goods and kills in towards their name as well. So team 2A got the 2nd position, but once again team Sola, the consistency of these girls with the 3rd position is on the other world. I'd say it's just on another level of the world. But once again, team Sola having that 3rd position with almost like 6 kills in towards their name is amazing as well. So somewhere around that area in the top first 3 matches, their consistency is top notch. But there's still one more match that they have to play, that they have to make sure that they get good points in as well if they want to like stay into a good position for themselves. But if we're talking about the MVP, once again going towards the MVP of the 3rd match is going to be 4SE Manok GL. 5 kills, 927 damage on towards this girl, and a total of 1 bonus kill for the girl so far. But with that, the 3rd match has also came to an end. The 3rd match has also came to a shift as well. And with that, we're going to be taking a short break as well. So you guys don't get anywhere, because we will be right back after the short break. And until then, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and share button, because there's still one match for the Group A of the semi-final. So stay here, stay tuned, stay with us. We will be right back.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, to start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, to start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. It's not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. It's not lost, you're not They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, to start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. I'll see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not They said, don't fall. Don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run. Don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. I'll see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, to start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek, look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, to start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, to start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't stop Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not They said, don't fall. Don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run. Don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet.